Welcome to the Lost Lives Count, where we tally up victims in horror movies, anime, TV shows, music videos, and beyond. I am your host, William Pride, also known as Nexus. We're covering Psycho 2. Released in 1983, 22 years after the original Psycho. The film is directed by Franklin, who actually passed in 2007. He also directed Patrick, Link, and Visit. The screenplay was written by Tom Holland, not the Spyman actor. The horror legend, he also did he wrote the Beast Within, Scream for Help. He also directed Child's Play and Fright Night and Dinner. The story picks up years after Norman Bates is released from a mental institution. He returned to his old home and the Bates Motel, hoping to live a normal life. But his past refuses to stay buried as soon people around him turn up dead. The film is not related to the Psycho 2 novel by Robert Bloch. So, the big question is, how many lives were taken in the sequel? And how many people were blamed on Norman? Let's find out and get to the lives lost. The movie. The movie begins with the Universal logo of MC Company, based on the MC Company, which is actually a very old logo of the of Universal that used to be. And it cut to the Bates Motel, which is in black and white from the beginning, but it's actually a sequel, and it's actually Universal, and we see the newspaper and the text Bernard Swartz production, and we actually hear Norman say, "Mother, God, Mother, blood, blood!" And the scene starts to transition from black and white, then it's transitioned into color, right up until the title card. And also, well, to tell the truth, Marion was actually did die in the beginning of Psycho 2, but she was already counted as Psycho 1960 in the original Psycho, so I won't recount her until Psycho 1988. So now we're in the courtroom. Lila is present. Lila is now married to Sam Loomis, which is actually Marion's ex-boyfriend, but now he's actually Lila's wife. Honestly, she actually doesn't want to have Norman released because, look, she actually don't want her released because she and 743 people are opposed of his release from the mental institute, including relatives of the 7 people who were murdered. I think the relatives should. I will actually not mention who are the relatives until beginning of. But I think she actually mentioned her. I think she was mentioned her. And the ones from beginning of the in Psycho for the beginning. And she actually say don't have the right to speak out, tell the judge. And honestly, she advised her attorney, and the attorney explained that the petition had no effect to the proceed. And the judge did explain her hearing. Lila explained that they did realize that they're releasing a homicidal maniac. The judge asked her to sit down or be removed by the bailiff. He then asked if she had a further question with the attorney. And she also, now she say in a hesitant tone, why bother? It's obvious. It's too oblivious. Our courts protect a criminal, not the victims. She run out, and Norman congratulate. Norman's Norman's therapist congratulate him. Honestly, the actress Vera still plays Norman. Plays Lila very well still. But we actually have a new character. Norman's therapist, Dr. Bill Raymond, who actually played by Robert Rogia, who actually plays Salvador, Sal the Shark Bosé in Innocent Blood, Santoro Savis Jr. in Savi Vampire, and Gerald William Gray in Independence Day Resurgence. I will actually recover Independence Day. I will actually start Independence Day as Resurgence as soon as possible, because as soon as before June is over, because it will be a long freaking lives lost count. Later, Dr. Raymond says that Norman didn't murder. He was found not guilty of raising insanity. Sorry, I had to do that. Norman pleaded not guilty years ago. Lila responds, if he there no murder, it's you who will be responsible. She storms out angry. Norman goes back home and walks up the house, and Mr. Toomey, who actually I will actually be introduced later, and resurfaces and the phone of the diner. And honestly, we actually, the young, honestly, the young, she actually been dead. The young Norman Bates is played by Oz Perkins, who actually is the son of Anthony Perkins, who actually is the Black Coat's daughter, who directed the Black Coat's daughter, and the girl in the photographs. Hansel, he written and directed Hansel and Gretel, Longlegs, the Monkey, and the upcoming Keeper. He also played a cop in Wolf, Johnny in Dead and Breakfast, Flynn in Backman in Nope. I will enjoy covering it again. And Chip Zimmerman in The Monkey. I will actually cover that because The Monkey is actually my bread and butter. When you actually combine cartoon horror with supernatural. Norman sees a doorknob move, accidentally knock over a suitcase, and we actually meet Mrs. Spool, Barry, Chase, and the honestly, okay, let me actually, and also Ralph, let me actually, tell the actors I actually did put on the script, but that because I actually did not put it on the script because I already know this is going to be a long Vera Miles is played by Vera is actually a retired actress who actually in the original Psycho. She actually did she actually did she actually is in The Irritation, Into the Night, and Separation after Psycho 2. She also in Brainwaves and Run of the Roses. I actually did not add Hud Gillen, who actually play Hunt, who actually is in Paper Moon, Wise Guy, Corpse with a Familiar Face, Back to the Future 3, Avira, Mistress of Darkness, Doing Time on Earth, actress Elvis and Me, Wanted Dead or Alive, Psycho 3. He's actually in Psycho 3. Ralph is actually played by Robert Allen Bowen, who actually in Frankenstein meets Space Monster, Wrong is Right, Hysteria, Hysterical, Deal of the Century, Flesh Burn, still in Psycho 3, Native Son, J. E. Edgar, and Emmy for The Evil Escapes. And play Emma Spool is Claudia Berra, who actually died in 2011. I was a teenage Frankenstein. Wanted Dead Alive TV show. The Andy Griffith Show. Leave It to Beaver. Psycho 3. Psycho 2. Mira played Lee Garner. She's actually in Psycho 3 and 2. She's in The Seventh Sign, Field of Dreams, The Applegates, Sneakers, Jack the Bear, My Life, Reflection, The Babysitters, Driven, Forever Lulu, Dante's Peak, Summer of All Fear, Hot Chicks, 1 Hour, Johnson's Family Vacation, A Log Alike, Mortuary, Something New, Stick, Just Add Water, Pulse 2 Afterlife, The Cover Up, Angstman in Brooklyn, The Expendables, Some Kind of New. There's a lot. Little things that she all K-Code Christmas and House by the Lake. She actually is still alive and do. And the pie breaks, and we actually meet and cover for Mary. And Mary is actually honestly, we actually went and Mary played by Meg Tilly. She actually played Carol Marone in Body Snatchers, Laura in Anti-Birth. Honestly, Anti-Birth is a psychedelic body horror film. If anybody actually do want me to do from 2016, if anybody want to me to cover Anti-Birth, honestly, Anti-Birth is actually not. It's like okay. It's a psychedelic horror movie with one thing in common. Somebody do give birth, but let's say I will actually spoil what actually happened when you actually get into it. I will actually. And she also appeared in Chucky because, fun fact, she is the real life sister of Jennifer Tilly. Norman calls Mr. Toomey, who actually is checking room is Flesh. Mr. Toomey, played by Dennis Franz, who actually in the furry. He appears in The Furry, play Ruben in Body Double, Lieutenant My Dog in The Package, and Captain Kame Lorza in Die Hard 2, which I will actually cover. I will actually do a Die Hard Lives Lost count. I already have a To the Never's bit. Yippee-ki-yay! I'm not going to give it away. You know. He's actually a total sleazeball, and he actually turned the hotel into a drug and sex on the property, and turned a motel into a party motel. Norman actually fired him on the spot. He actually said he could do that. Then later, Norman actually he actually going to tell him he's going to go to the police. Mr. Turing does say that he makes sure his clients are happy, having a good time. But he tell what happened to your clients? It ended up dead, you loony. Norman actually walks away. Back to the house, she actually talk about she think about she in the dark, and Norman is actually offer her and started to talk about Scott iced tea and a container. What was in the container? And he actually found a knife, and he actually makes sandwiches and milk. Milk. Sandwiches. He just move back here, trying to live normally. Hands him a knife. He scared to actually use it because he was released in the institution, and Mary actually pretend to honestly, what did she put in the tea? Honestly, don't worry. She does go on the count. She actually scared, saying that have all the rumors. Norman keep his mother's door locked, and she actually she actually take off her clothes, and honestly, he said goodnight, Mary, and she locked her door with a chair. Meanwhile, Norman is downstairs washing dishes when Mary say that her girlfriend actually have a open for her. Honestly, she actually is hiding something. Norman is hoping not to change her mind, but he actually could listen to me is drunk, and he actually eat, and don't let and a note that is on the wheel that say, don't let that little whore in my house love mother. These little notes are actually part of what actually happened. But who wrote this? It's not Nora. She's dead. So later, Mary is stopped by Mr. To me, who actually say what it's like to screw a cycle. Mary say, "Will you mind removing your foot?" Next Norman go cut the tomatoes. Mr. Toomey say, "You did spend the night with him. You got strange taste in men." Honestly, Mary actually say shut him down and say what two people sleep under the same roof and none of his business. He asks when or are you or you don't kiss and tell. Mary fired back, "You want to know what Norman like?" He said, "Yeah. Better than you ever be, fat boy." I still laugh at that joke. Yes, I did. Ralph actually burned out the grease and, "Yeah, that still hurts me." Norman said, "Cut it out to me." Mary said, "Norman, are you talking to me, Wacko?" He was actually going to fight, and then Norman seen the knife, and he actually do, and Ralph asked what happened, and Norman told him the truth about the note, and the note is gone. Norman swear it's from his dead mother, and Mary come back and gave him fudge. Fudge. She actually go in the shower, and we actually see somebody in the peephole that actually we hear somebody playing. Fun fact, Meg Tilly never got along with the director or her co-star Anthony Perkins, and she didn't show up for the movie premiere. Now, she is in the mirror. Toomey is drunk and calling Norman a psycho. Fun fact, this line was actually based on the get a phone and call him, mention that actually Toomey mind games. Someone in a dress at 40 minutes and 26 seconds. Mr. Toomey got his face sliced open and killed off screen. Dr. Raymond actually come to see Norman at the hotel, and he did expect him to tomorrow. Ralph told me you quit. Norman said, "Yeah, I figured that he made more money at the hotel." What did Mr. Toomey plan do this? Norman answered, "I fired him. He turned the place into an adult hotel. I want to change it back. I want to change it back." Who in the window? It's Mary. Mary noticed a peephole straight into his mother's room. Mary introduced her to Dr. Raymond. Mary asked, "What do you think his plan place?" Raymond responded, "Some of them now Raymond offered her a lift to work, while Sheriff Hunt, who actually was a deputy when Norman was arrested, killing while in the dress as his mother, talk with Raymond and want to keep an eye on Norman, but he want to bug his and mention Samuel, and Hunt decided to check on her after he finished his sandwich. Back at the house, Norman is painting someone. Someone is actually watching from the window and talk about the room is empty, but now it's actually fake. And the note said, "Norman, get rid of the slut or I'll kill mother." The note shocked and who is doing this. He got in the attic, but he was locked in. We cut to two teenagers. Norman look around. Teener, one named Josh, smoking drugs at drugs. Suddenly, he hears something. Josh took a look around. It's actually a woman. They actually get out, but his girlfriend make a noise, and Josh run, but it's too late. Josh died by getting his head smashed and stabbed 3 times at 51 minutes and 53 seconds. She actually ran, and Norman was sleeping, and Mary actually looking for him. He'd been asleep, and now Norman thinks it's his mother. The notes disappear again, and the room is actually not fixed up this time. It was fixed, but not fixed. Sheriff Hunt arrived along with the pool. Pool said that a large woman was seen kill a boyfriend of the kill a boyfriend, the girlfriend of the boyfriend, in the squad car. Norman said the first day back in the cellar since the incident, the cellar door was open. Hunt tell Mary what happened to the door in the past. He asked, did he make a call? Confirm. Are you sure with him between 3 and 5? Mary replied, he was with me out in the field. Now Lila actually and Hunt deny it. And also, Lila actually tried to get him committed for murder, and Hunt denied it. The officer crazy. Later, Mary goes to the old office. It's revealed Mary is Lila Loomis's daughter. Lila asks why she give Norma Bates alibi, and Mary actually think that is someone else has done it. And Lila insists that he murdered. And honestly, Norman flushed the toilet and blood coming out of the toilet, and a bloody T-shirt is actually coming up from the. And honestly, go make a drink, and now Norman put the dead kid. And she called Norman, and she go downstairs, and honestly, she actually sees someone watching for the people, and honestly, it's someone in the house, and honestly, Norman armed with a knife, and honestly, what actually happened is he actually think it's his mother and going to kill him. He walked back and forth with the knife, and she actually joined him, and she smelled like cheese sandwiches like his mother, Dr. Raymond. He's actually becoming confused again, but Dr. Raymond arrived and talk about Lila, and he actually say that she's actually Lila's father. Lila is Mary's mother, and they'll try to get him recommitted again. Mary tell Norman the truth, but Norman insists it's a mother that argue with the almost over the edge. One more push, and he back in the institution. And Mary actually don't want to go with it with Lila anymore, and done with it. Honestly, to tell you the truth, she doesn't want to go with it, and she arguing, and Mary is cooking lunch, and while they open the coffin, and Dr. Raymond told it truly haunting Norman, Mary, and Lila themselves, and Raymond say it's not your mom, Norman, but Mary pick up the phone and pretend to be his mom. It's his real mom, and Mary says, Mrs. Bates is dead. Stop messing. Norman say it's his real mom. Mrs. Bates. Then Mrs. Poole tell the phone rings. It's Lila calling. She walks out to the car unnoticed and packing and to the clothes, and someone down there, and Hunter tells the leave and move the car, and honestly the storm cellar, and honestly the killer stab the knife through Lila's head out of her mouth at 1 hour 29 minutes and 16 seconds. She gurgles and died. Then Raymond walked into the cellar to find out that she stayed at the hotel. It's my real mother.
They pull something out of her trunk with a foul smell. They actually found a body. Mary tried to take Norbert away, but the fell right in Dr. Raymond. But honestly, Norbert actually thinks it's his mother, and Norbert tell him to. But Norbert thinks that his mother want him to kill Mary. We see Lila's dead body in the coal. She actually cries and so stab him and try to go, and she got and also Raymond startled her and got stab him. He fall down the stairs and the knife lodges deeper in his chest at 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 28 seconds. Mary realized that he killed his therapist. That Norman actually think it's her mother still, and she actually says, "Stop. See, it's not her mother, it's actually Mary," and she actually says, "Stop it." Then see her mother dead, and she said, "You did it," and then tried to kill Norman, and then Hunt actually shoot Mary at 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 60 seconds. Reporters arrive at the sheriff's office, and honestly, to tell you the truth, they actually think Mary and Lila, who actually did it, that killed Mr. Toomey and the boy and tried to frame Norman, so they can believe he crazy again. And Norman is actually safe, and but to tell you the truth, that's not when the story ends. To tell you the truth, Norman, that's not when the story ends. The truth is more, honestly, he actually go downstairs, shoveling coal, and he still bleed from his cut with Mary. Shovel and he's shoveling coal in the furnace and eat a sandwich with milk. Sandwich. And now someone knock and enters. It was Emma Spool. Emma actually, honestly, to tell the truth, this what actually happened. Emma actually started talking, and the container actually, it reveals that Emma is actually revealed to be Norman's real mother and Norma's sister. She actually had Norman out of wedlock and gave him to Norma when he was actually one, and never told him the truth until now. And the one who been killing Toomey and the boy Josh and stalking Norman was been Emma all along. She drank the tea. Norman as probably don't want the sandwich. Emma said, pardon? Norma poisoned her and hit her head with the shovel, killing her at 1 hour, 47 minutes, and pull out the blind, bend down, and carry her to her room, Emma to her room. And say, Mother, you must be sleepy. I'm not sleepy. Put me in my chair. In her voice. In his voice, yes, Mother. In her voice, now turn me into the window. I want to see. Honestly, the better he want to keep the eye on you, they'll start playing with filthy girls again. He said, yes, Mother. Good. Well, not got at. Well, start garden. Go downstairs and open the motel. What do you expect to live on? Hope? No, Mother. Remember, Norman, I'm the one who loves you. Only your mother who truly loves you. The sign flashes. It's a vacancy and the base motel. Norman walked out and it ends with Emma corpse spool, the corpse of Emma Spool sitting in the window of the Bates house, and the movie ends.
Many lives lost in Psycho 2. Let's find out again to... Wait, somebody calling. Hello? Yes, Mother. I'm counting the kills for Psycho 2. Yeah, Mother. I know, I'm counting the kills for Psycho 2. Don't harass me again. Wait, you want to just say, let's get to the numbers? Okay, let's get to the numbers. Six people lost their lives in Psycho 2. 2 males and 4 females. With a running time of 113 minutes, we got lives lost every hour, every 1.87 minutes. With the great acts of execution, I give it to Lila. Honestly, this death is actually a good way to actually do, because her death actually have a knife through her mouth. That actually is a great death and good special effects. And it do itself through the original death of Marion Crane. Because Lila Loomis now actually died. But the Whippy Axe Dollars goes to her daughter Mary, who actually just got shot. This is not a good death because she only got shot trying to attack Norman. And it just looked really fake. That's it. Psycho 2 was released in 1983, and I did wonder why it was. I'm wondering why it did not. So I actually read the Wikipedia article for Psycho 2 book, and no wonder they did not want to do the book. And they didn't write the book. So they actually made their own story. the truth is, the book is a lot different than the movie because what actually happened is Norman, there was no Emma Spool. There's an actress that played Marion. And Norman actually let the mother personality killed Lila and Sam. And there is actually no Mary. And I'm glad they did put anything in the book, in the movie. So, this is actually, this was released in 1983, and it followed by Psycho 3, released in 1986, which I will actually do the Lives Lost count in 3. But, what am I going to do? Big news. I'm actually going to do a tier list. I'm going to do a tier list coming up for Final Destination. This will be my new series called Tier Up of Kills and Tier Up of Movies. I will actually do a tier up of the kills in movies and the tier up of movies. Of how great of the movies are they and how good of the kills are. And also, I will actually also rank Disney deaths, South Park deaths, and also Family Guy deaths. But I will actually only notify the gruesome deaths of Family Guy that will be notified and mentioned. That will be mentioned. Have a good day.